So next up in the Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts line, we have Dodoria. So they are continuing on with the Namek Saga releases. That is Bandai Tamashii Nations. This is a web exclusive, and he is quite the big boy. He comes in a very big box. He's quite heavy. So let's get into this thing. I'm very excited to take a look at the Doria. I'm glad that they released such a unique character, and it just makes me that much more excited for Zarbon and the future of the line. So, as you can see, the package, we got the logo, the web exclusive logo down below on the bottom. We get the sticker of authenticity, showing you that this is made by Bandai Tamashii, authentic and not reproduced or KO or anything like that. This one's made in Vietnam. Side art just shows more images of the figure. Other side just shows the name. On the back side, we have multiple poses of the Doria and also a look at first form Frieza and Zarbon down here. So very cool. So let's go ahead and hit that like button if we're excited to get into this figure. Very cool, man. This is something that is very cool because it feels like we're getting more in depth into the roster of Dragon Ball Z. We're getting to the like B-list, C-list characters. I know we've gotten there already, but now we're really getting in there, you know? So seeing the Doria be brought to life in SH Figuarts, something that, yeah, maybe eventually would have gotten, but honestly, I didn't expect it, and I'm glad that we are here, where we're getting Zarbon and the Doria. Now, taking him out of the box, it has been a minute since I've seen the Namek Saga. One of the first things I've noticed is how wide his legs are. Very, very wide. I had to double check just to see if that was accurate. Indeed, it is. He just has a really, really wide legs. So if you look at any screenshot, his legs are really, far apart from each other. He's got that very big gap between the legs. Without it sounding weird, it's very wide, so it's accurate. They did it right. It looks good. I mean, no complaints here. I just had to verify that, and it's accurate to that, so we're good there. He comes with a decent amount of accessories for what it is. It's a big figure, in terms of like size and width. He's very short though, so that's just the design of the character. But he really does have some weight to him. He comes with 3 head sculpts, including the one on the figure right now, and a couple of pairs of hands, and then a Dragon Ball and a Scouter. So let's take a look at all of that right now. So first up, this is the head sculpt on the actual figure, of course. So it's a very menacing smile, like just evil. It looks great, very cool. Then we get an even more evil, like grin or smile with this one right here. And you can see it's a full entire head, of course. It's not a faceplate, but look at that. Check that out. That looks great. And you know what? Let's go ahead and put it on the body. That's how it looks like on the figure itself. Even better. I'm really digging this look. I might display him with this one. Looks really good. I like the texture on the lips there. The teeth are sculpted very good. And the paint apps are applied very well, so no complaints here. And then last but not least, we get a very, very expressive face. His mouth is wide open. He is yelling from the top of his lungs. And that's cool. Very cool face. I mean, I'll take it. Probably won't display him with that. But, man, definitely has a lot of good opportunities for some good pictures. Some, powering up pictures or just angry pictures or just yelling when Vegeta's pulling his arms. This is the face to put on the figure. So that's the third and final head sculpt right there. Very cool. Also worth noting, all these head sculpts have a removable left ear. There you go. And here's the other one. Already took it off. And this is, of course, for our Scouter. So we'll bring that in right now. It's the green Scouter. Pretty simple. We got the peg right there, and it should fit in each head sculpt. Let's see. There you go. Boom. So that's going to complete the look with the Scouter. We'll take a look at that on the figure in a minute. But it completely covers the ear. Like, the ear almost doesn't exist. Kind of weird, because his ear is really big. So you would feel like at least the pointy end of the ear should be sticking out from the top, but I'm going to have to verify that as well. And sure enough, it's accurate, so his ear is non-existent once he has the Scouter on. I guess he tucks that entire thing inside the Scouter, which is crazy, but that's how he is drawn. That's how it looks like, and it's accurate. So we will accept it. It just looks odd now that I kind of look at it. I feel like that ear is so big, it should It should be sticking out of it a little bit, but I guess it just sucks it all in inside the scouter. Who knows? And then of course we have a pair of fists that come packed in with the figure. And as for his alternate hands, see if you can stand there. We get a pair of open hands here. Check out how open they are. They are pretty calm. They're open but calm. Nothing crazy going on here. Maybe you can hold a Dragon Ball with this hand. And then these are open but a little bit more aggressive. You can see the fingers are a little bit more tense. They're, bent. He's about to maybe, I don't know, grab somebody. I don't know. So that's cool. And then last but not least, we get one hand, a left hand, with the pointing finger right there. So there's not a right one, but just the left. Alright, and last but not least, we have the 7-star Dragon Ball, the Namekian Dragon Ball. And they actually restarted these once again, just like they did with the Earth Dragon Balls. They did one set of those, and then they released some more Dragon Ball figures with Dragon Balls, and they kind of changed the color of the Dragon Ball. The first releases were like translucent, and then the second releases were more like this one. It's like marbleized. And they're doing the same thing with Namek, because we did complete all 7 Dragon Balls of the Namekian Dragon Balls, with the majority coming from the Ginyu Force. We got one with first one Frieza. We have Kid Gohan with one, and I think Bulma came with another one. And now they're starting over again. I don't mind. I guess they're just finding a reason to release it again in a different like color. I don't know. It's not necessary now that we have them all, but it's, you know what, I'm not going to complain. I'll take another one. I think these look better than the translucent ones in my opinion. Actually, here it is. Pretty major difference. This is the same exact Dragon Ball with the 7-star. And you pick and choose. Which one do you feel like it's better? I mean, they're both good. I'm not going to say one's, horrible. So, in the end of the day, it's up to preference. Which one do you prefer? You can you can actually see the Dodoria through it. But, if you don't like the translucentness, then go for the new set. Alright, so let's take a closer look at the entire figure before moving on to the articulation. Real quick, we'll go through this. One thing I did notice are the sand shoulder pads are not painted. I wish they were painted. Just paint that line black. I mean, I don't think it takes much. But yeah, it's not painted. Would be cool if it was. I think it would look better. But overall, I'm not going to complain too much. Here is the front part too, not painted. In terms of the plastic though, you can kind of see some shine to it. Keep in mind I have some pretty bright lights on it right now. It's not as glossy as it may seem. I've definitely seen more glossier things. So it's more matte than gloss for sure. But there is some shine to it because I have some pretty bright lights on it right now. Just compare the gloss. This is gloss right here. To compared to that, it's not really glossy. But anyways, moving on. Sculpt is good and accurate. Forearms got those spikes. The head has those spikes as well. There's the torso and then the legs. Very interesting articulation system here because he's got some really short, stubby, and fat legs. Very short, stubby feet as well. Here's the back side. And that's about it. So let's move on to the articulation of the figure. Alright, so the head is very, of course, fat, like the rest of the body. It'll pop off if you go high too much, like it just did. So he'll look up that high, and that's not bad at all. That's great. I mean, that's as far as you can imagine Dodoria can look. Looking down, before it pops off again, there goes the scouter. But there is a limit. There you go. Looking down is not gonna happen. Not really. Yeah, it's really not gonna happen unless you use the torso to go down, because his big old cheeks hinder, they hit his chest, I guess. So there's that. Left and right, not too bad right there. Let's put the scouter back on because that looks weird. There you go. We also do get some head tilting here. If I pop this off, you can see that the neck actually kind of teeters here. It does go forward and back. It is articulated very tight as you hear it squeak. I think it's on a ball joint because you can go left and right as well. So it's just very tight. Alright, of course his Saiyan armor goes up. We still got this design, which I'm okay with, but then again, I don't know if there's any way around this, It's hard to, I guess, make this in a way where it doesn't hinder the arms too much. And you'll see that because once you move the arms up, of course, that's going to go up. And the reason why it hinges is for that. And it looks kind of weird. That's fine like that, but when you're trying to get it forward, and of course when you, ooh, that sounded very ugly, but when you're trying to utilize the butterfly joints right here, as you see, I mean, that looks weird. So how the heck am I going to pose this guy, like, maybe like punching somebody, and expect this to be like, nah, man. So I don't know. There's no other way around this. It's just hard to, I guess, design a shoulder pad that will not do this and still allow him to do like a punching pose. So the furthest you can get him where it can look decent is maybe like that. A little bit of a gap is okay in my book. We do get a butterfly joint that's really tight when you get him out the box, so make sure you be careful. Like, we all heard that very loud sound. I thought it cracked or something, but we're good. Then we get bicep swivels, double jointed elbows. We get a swivel at the wrist, and it's on a ball joint, so it goes forward and back like a hinge and all that, tilts. As for the torso, it doesn't go back too far, but it does go forward quite a bit. You can see the gap right there. So you can crunch him forward. And then as for a swivel, I tried it and I'm so scared. I'm sure you can, but I'm not going to force this thing because it's not going and I don't want to hear a crack that breaks. So I'm good. I'm not going to touch that. We do get a swivel at the waist though. You can see here, and the whole entire waist area does go forward and back as well and kind of tilts. So he's got some mobility there. Not too bad for such a fat guy. Here come the legs. Pretty good. I mean, he kicks forward as far as he can. There you go. And then go back down. We go in and out. We do get some clicky ratchets here. And there you go. Not too bad there. Going back, we get a thigh swivel. We get I guess technically it is a double joint, but that's as far as he'll go, which is fine, I guess. Let's see if he can like kneel. I don't know if he can. Yeah, he can kind of kneel on one knee. Kinda. You just gotta kind of balance him. It's not too bad, right? And then we have a ball joint for the ankle. You could do a little rocker, a swivel, and a hinge forward and back, and then we get the toe hinge right there at the foot. So this is me attempting a kneeling pose, and it's as good as you're gonna get with the Dodoria and this body type. Can you go wrong with this? I don't think so. I mean, this is pretty good. Not bad. The fact that you could do this with such stubby short legs and the articulation that we get, that we're limited to because of the design of the character. So not bad. I like it. I'm digging it a lot. Alright, so we're going to actually bring out the measuring tape here just to give you a visual look of how tall he is. He stands right above 6 inches and right below 7 inches, if not right at the 7-inch mark. If we're looking at the top of the spike of his head, I'd say he's between 6 and 7 inches. Actually, if we take a look at his width, he's about the same width as he is, height-wise, right past 6 inches, below 7 inches. In fact, here he is next to Goku. This is the Sand Raised on Earth Goku with the Captain Ginyu head sculpt. This is when he merges with him, or he changes bodies, I should say, with Goku, and he's wearing the Scouter. This is technically Ginyu inside of Goku's body. But since this is a Goku figure, it's the same size as the regular Goku. I just might also just use it as both here and show him next to the Dodoria. And you see he is definitely smaller than the Dodoria, as he should be. I think this is great. I mean, this gives you a good sense of how big the Dodoria is, even though he feels more wider than short, if that makes sense. Alright, so now we'll bring in Namek Saga Bulma. She is shorter than Goku, so she does stand smaller and shorter than Dodoria, of course. Alright, and this is to go even further shorter. We have first form Frieza, and you can just see how small he is next to Dodoria. Very accurate. And even shorter, how short can we go? We have Kid Gohan from the Namek Saga as well. This is when he first lands in Namek, and of course he eventually changes into the Sand Armor, which we are getting a Figuarts version of him very soon. He actually just went up for pre-order. Alright guys, this is the shortest I can go. I don't think I can go shorter than this. We have Captain Ginyu as a frog. Alright, and we actually had to pan out a little bit for this one because Birder is so big, but I'm only going to go ahead and throw in one member of the Ginyu Force and then go through them all. But Birder is the biggest one, so we want to see how he looks next to Dodoria, which has been towering over everybody I've been comparing him to. Birder has him beat here. This is as expected. He is the biggest member of the Ginyu Force. So this looks good there. It just gives you an idea of how big Birder is. And maybe how not so big Dodoria is after all. And then here we'll throw in Lord Frieza once again. The same first form Frieza, but this time inside his hover pod. This is my second Frieza. I did buy two. So I got one displayed in the pod and one displayed out of the pod, as you just saw the first one. And this is how I intend to display Dodoria and Zarbon right next to Lord Frieza in his hover pod is where you kind of see them a lot, and I think it would make for a pretty good display. Just have Frieza, and this combination with this figure inside this pod is just so good. It's like a masterpiece. It looks so great inside the hover pod. This is why I had to get another one, because I just didn't want to take them out. I wanted to articulate and play with one, so I just went ahead and bought another one. So, but anyways, just imagine Zarbon on the other side right here. Once we get him, it's gonna look great, and hopefully we just keep expanding the Frieza force. Maybe we get some grunts. I don't see it happening, but it could happen. I don't know. The very first army builder for SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z. Is anybody down for that? I mean, I'd be down for that, of course. It's my favorite line, so I'm a little biased, but I'm curious to know if others would buy into that. So all in all, I'm very happy with this figure. I really have no complaints, none that I can think of. If I look for something, I really can't. This is coming from the Vietnam factory, and lately they've been having QC issues, and I don't really see any QC issues here. They definitely seem like they've been improving, so that's a good thing. I don't know if they're slowly just trying to transfer it over to Vietnam or something. I don't know what's going on with that part, but they are definitely producing figures from both China and Vietnam at the same time as of right now. But overall, I'm seeing some improvements from the Vietnam facility, and this figure is pretty darn good. Not much I can complain about here. I think they did great for what this character is. I'm digging the articulation that he comes with. He's very highly articulated for such a weirdly proportioned character. I think it's great. The only thing that they gotta fix maybe eventually are these pads on these sand armored figures, but I don't know if there's a way around that. Really don't know, and it is what it is at this point. You just really can't accomplish some poses without this thing happening to it, and I mean it's a plastic action figure. We can't, we can only do so much with it. But overall, aesthetically, it's pretty darn good. I wish it was shading, as I mentioned, and that's about it. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think about this the Dodoria figure? Again, I am a super Dragon Ball Z fan, so I may slide a little bit on the bias side of things. I've definitely seen and sound more exciting in these reviews because I'm just so excited about these figures, and I love them. So another great addition to the collection. I figure you don't pass on this either if you're trying to build up your Namekian, warriors or your Namek scene. Dodoria is a fine addition to that collection. So as always, guys, hit that like button down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.